once again, on behalf of the Columbus Karma Take Some Choling, I want to thank Cathy Lhamo for being here to help us learn the Medicine Buddha practice today. And all of you I want to thank all of you for bringing your sincerity to the program. And then finally, thank you for your donations to Columbus KTC. All of the money over the cost of providing the Eventbrite service is going to go to Columbus KTC. So thank you very, very much. Okay, I'll turn it back over to you, Lhamo, and thank you for recording.
Thank you so much. And I believe it's recording now, Lama Cathy. It says Myra Sage at the bottom.
It looks good to me. Yeah, it looks good here.
Excellent. So if everyone could get their text out, or I'm sure it's right in front of you. We will be chanting in Tibetan.
Are you able to hear me?
Who said that?
What?
Who said that?
Myra Sage said, are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I don't want to interrupt. I don't have the text or anything. I had trouble downloading it, but I just want to watch everything, if that's okay.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Hey, Myra, this is Cathy. I'm one of the helpers, and I'd like for you to type your email address in chat, and I'll send you the materials by email. Would that work for you?
That would work, except for one thing. I've never done this before, so I have no idea how to tap any. Oh, I think I see chat. Okay, and I just write in my email. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Myra.
Thank you.
And Myra, let me know when you get it, and then we'll start.
Okay.
So while we're waiting, I'll just mention that this is a very unique text because it's actually from the sutras, and we're going to talk about that in a little while, but it has, it's not from any of the specific yogas or anything. It's actually from the sutras, and the Tibetans adopted it and turned it into a Vajrayana practice, which I think is marvelous. And they do that many times with many of the practices. And since we're waiting, whoops, I don't want to lose my text. This practice, the history of it, as you might remember last week, I'm going to read this. This is from the wonderful website called eDharma, where you can download a great deal of sadhanas online and put them in as PDFs or whatever on your computers, on your phones. It's just marvelous how you can download these, and they're so beautiful. Michelle Martin wrote this about this practice. So this is the history. It is compiled from the luminous, expansive mind treasure found within the Sky Dharma. Sky Dharma is a collection. This practice comes from the mind treasures from the Terten. Terten is a blessed person of the Nyingma tradition that is actually able to find things, find treasures, find and reveal practices and symbols that were placed by Guru Rinpoche for future practitioners. So the Terten's name is Namchu Minjor Dorje. Namchu because he wrote a great deal of practices called Sky Dharma. He was born in 1645 and died in 1667. And also, so this came from him. He had the realization. But as many of you might remember someone called Karmachagami. So many different teachings we get from Karmachagami. He was born much earlier than him, 1616 to 1678. He was famous for compiling practices because he was close friends with some of the amazing Tertens. So he actually discovered Minjur Dorje, and he put this together, and he actually wrote the supplication at the very beginning. And because this comes from two masters compiling Dharma, it is filled with their blessings. The text is concise while encompassing all that is needed to bring spiritual, emotional, and physical well-being. As other Yidam deity practices, it can lead to full awakening. So that's from eDharma. So I just want you to be reminded that's one of the sources of this. So did Myra, let's see.
Yes, I think I have it.
Do you have it?
Yes, I do.
Don't rush, we're fine.
I've got it here. Yep. Okay. The deep blue, yeah, I do have it.
And it would begin with Namo Bekhanze Maharajaya. Okay.
Okay, yep.
So today I'm also going to tap on and touch on, hey, Mike and Tara, could you give your dog a nice hug for me? I miss not having pets anymore. I just have a husband. Oh, I forgot this is being recorded. I'll be careful. Today I'm also going to be teaching on mudras, because this amazing book by Trungpa Rinpoche, he has incredible chapters in it, including one on the mudras and the symbolism. So because the description of today's class said that, I'll tap on that in part 2 of the class. We'll have a break around 11:15. Okay, let's start. So you might see me do mudras today, and almost all practices, if it's going to be a praise, supplication to the lineage, or refuge, we always put our hands in prayer. Now, I can't do both hands and hold the text, so I'm going to have one hand in prayer and hold the text with the other. So the first section are the 9 supplications to all those that had anything to do with this lineage. And you can chant any tune you want. And before I forgot this one more really important thing. I went on to YouTube and looked at KTD's website of several of the different medicine Buddhas that are chanted on Sunday night. And if you don't know Tibetan, it might be tricky to know how to move through that. So I actually have all the different timelines, and I'm gonna, how it's broken into what prayers. So that way you have that as a guide, and then you can just follow it along. All right, so let's begin. Sorry, I'll start there. So the first stanza is, it actually means homage to the great king of medicine. And we don't put that to a tune, we just say it. Namo Bekanze Maharajaya. Sunamyun Tengyatso Tengashin Samgi Mika Tuje Jinlaki Roe Dunga Dumashi Zeba Bendu Yai Ula Sowade Shintu Senada Pora Jimbe Yirane Suke Wege Woyi Guten Tonamike Jimbaga Chunden Mengi Lala Sowade Sotrin Shadan Shela Shesunbe Nawake Wedawadi Daki Guten Tonatori Kewasun Mengi Gapu de la Sowade Dandayan Dantrama Dumai Ratu Jejin Sodrawada Ketsen Tona de Da Seminu Mengi Gapo de la Sovade Seles Zandri Mena Wadan Nyanye Mecho Padan Judayan Nuken Gapo Dayan Gapo Dan Shakya Gapo Nama Sovade Jamba Gato Jana Dojizin Samwa Gajin Choji Gapoji Dujin de Bonjin Bu Shinizo Kyoko Yonsu Sola Sovade Deshin Chepa Dungi Mulando Mengi La Yidu Denida Kitchen Chiwatsu Seishun La So Danchule wa sola sovade Dodi sa dodi son de so Lo pengalon Janju sambadam Yupe la madam padam jidan chiki Wanju sola sovade Deta sovade pejin labi Neka ne danchi pa na soshi Chitene sojipa gunshine Dewa Chindu Kewa Jinjilu. Then the next page is full of what's called Yik Chung. Yik means letter and Chung is small. So these are often instructions by the author. But they're not what we don't chant this out loud. But let's read it in English together. Namo Maha Besajeye. So that's Besaje is medicine Buddha, Maha is great, Namo is homage. For this practice, if possible, set up a painting of Menla, and in front of it, peaceful offerings such as the mandala. By doing so, you will gather the accumulations. Otherwise, visualize the front generation in the sky. As it is sufficient for the offerings to be mentally emanated, nothing is necessary. As this is the Anuttara sort of tradition, the practitioner need not abstain from meat or liquor, nor engage in ritual cleansings, such as ablution and the use of water. However, the empowerment and transmission must have been received, since this is the Anuttara tradition of secret mantra. As the simultaneous generation of the self in front is in the Nyingma tradition, they need not be done separately. As this is Nyingma liturgical practice, meditate on the meanings of the word. So, as an addendum to this comment, Trungpa Rinpoche said, because of the aspirations of Medicine Buddha were so vast, the 12 special aspirations he made before he became a Buddha, we do not have to have a reading transmission at this time. We do not have to have an empowerment or the instruction. But later on, it's wonderful if you can get those to further have the blessings of this practice. Sorry. Now going into the practice, the tune is slightly different. There's also music that's done in this practice, but because of Zoom, it's so hard to do music because of the distortion that I don't do much of it. But I have a handout and I will make sure to send it to all of you on the ritual. One other time we could meet maybe and go over how to make the offerings. Let's start. Namo Kunja Sundansa Wahasum Gyadne Namla Gyatsu Shidrokun Sanjela Gochir Janchu Chotu Semke Do. We say it 3 times total. And the second time we start just at Kunjo. Kunjo Sundansa Wahasum Gyabne Namla Gyatsu Chidrokun Sanjela Gochir Janchu Chotu Semke Do Kunjo Sundansa Wahasum Gyane Namla Gyatsu Chidrokun Sanjela Gochir Janchu Chotu Semke Do. Put your hands down in your lap. Kadalo Netru Pahayi Nansakam Vechupe Tremendagasi La Morche Zemekuchi Putsao Rokunde Dendu Nadra Dele Nyame Tanyon Shok. Now let's go back in English and read this page on the beginning at Namo. I go for refuge to the 3 jewels and the 3 roots, the sources of refuge, in order to establish all beings in Buddhahood, generate a mind of supreme awakening. From the expanse of primordial purity, an offering, a cloud of offerings, including mandalas, the articles of royalty and goddesses is emanated, filling the earth and the sky, Nyepi inexhaustible, Puzaho. May all beings be happy and without suffering. May they all abide in the unimpaired happiness and equanimity. Now we go back to chanting. Om Sobawa Shuddha Sarva Dharma Sobawa Shuddhom. Now this part is actually chanted. This is the visualization. Tompa ni tu kyor, tompe nanle ton sundi, tana tuki pojandu, yorpe nandu senge tre, peda soso tendu, rani dan dunkeki, sovo sabun hunga tingale, menla kudo benduya, tabu uzer chowe, kuchenchu, kusungi lupa, chaye chojin, aruradam, yunanja, lunze zimpa, Sempe Zoshin Dorje Kyo Tungi Shupa Ke Pardu Dunge Ki Dhamma Namla Tuwa La Sope Sanjay Juda Juputi Degat Semba Judu Dekab Jiting Kongwa Judan De Punjinbu Juni Susur Kordon Jepa Gushila Gushila Yabo Chimbo Shidan Chepe Nesumi Ge Sudan Tuke Hungde Utrupe Sharjoki Sanjay Susur Shingane Yeshe Papa Tu Meba Chandrane Datu Namla Timpayor. Now let's go back and read what we've just said in English. So it would be, let's start at the Om Sabawa Mantra. Om Sabawa Shuddha Sarva Dharma Sabawa Shuddha Hom. Everything becomes emptiness. From emptiness, these billion worlds arise as the palace of beauty. Inside it, on individual lion thrones, lotuses and moons, are blue hongs, the seeds of myself and the principle of the front generation. From these arise Menla, who is blue, radiating light rays like Lapis Lazuli. He is adorned by the 3 Dharma robes. His right hand holds Aurora with the mudra of supreme generosity. His left holds a begging bowl in the mudra of even placement. He is completely adorned by the major and minor marks and is seated in Vajra posture. On the petals of the front generation in particular are 7 Buddhas such as Munidra and the Dharma books. Surrounding those are the 16 Bodhisattvas. Surrounding them are the 10 guardians of the world and the 12 great chiefs with their retinues. At the four gates are the 4 great kings. So that was the end of the visualization. Then the actual invitation is from the 3 syllables in the 3 places of all, and from the hung in the heart, light is projected, and this invites countless Yeshepas from their individual Eastern Buddha realms. They dissolve into the self in the front generation. Let's continue. At home. Om Menla Chege La Tsoma Lupa Nedu Chendren Ji Jen Wap Tu So Gaden Deden Dalawan Chokur Lodur Seye Baje Sadur So. Now here we do a mudra, but I'll go through mudras later, so I'm just going to keep moving forward. Namo Mahabe Kanze Saparivar Benza Samayatsa Benza Samaya Tikdralin. Then we have the empowerments. Om Hom Tamriya Abhi Kensa Hom. Om, answer in prayer. Meta Tupomar Mehedri Jase Romola So Pa Juja Jirore Jahachu Daki Lala Chupa Bodaja Soni So Parsho. Now we make offerings, including doing mudras with our hands. These are the main offerings and extra offerings for Medicine Buddha. Argam Padyam Pupe Dupe Aluke Gende Nevide Shabda Rupa Shabda Gende Rasa Sapashe Tatitsa Om Drashitsa Woze Gede Sochokyo Boyungar So Dagilala Chupahabo So Neon Suso Parsho. These are going to be separate offerings. Whenever the Sanskrit is used, we put our hands in prayer. So just that Mangalam Arta Siddhi Hung. We put our hands in prayer here. Then we put our hands back down. Om Drashit Savotat Yede Socho Kyopo Bomba Soho Dagila Lachu Pahabo Samchen Soni So Parsho. Hands in prayer. Mangalam Kumbha Om Om Duyan Sawarin Chandun Socho Kyapo Norbu So Dagi Lalaju Pahabo Dani Soni Zo Parsho. Again, hands in prayer. Om Mani Rana Om. Now, if you know Mandala, you can hold it for the next part. Om Kungi Sowori Rahavlin Riravlin Shilindran Che Dagilala Che Pahabo Soniyon Suzo Parsho. Om Rana Mandala Om. Om Dagi Dridandri Jahaki Deshe Kula Kotru Sola Drima Mi Ngayang Tetritat Bedendra Ke Om Sarva Tathagata Abhike Kate Samaya Shriye Om Om Reka Janji Den Bahaye Yahweh Kunichi Vor Hilala Drimami Nahayang Dugna Dudrawe Dugna Drawe Ten Jagi Om Ayo Bisho Dani Om Naza Zedenyo Mihiti Yahweh Kula Suwar Ki Kula Silwami Ngahayam Dat Tratan Pawe Dendragi Om Benze Watre Ahum. Now we put our hands in prayer at the heart. This is a praise. Om Kudo Bendur Yayiri Wohodra Rawasam Chaneki Dungam Sahel Janjut Sambageki Kor Kihi Kor Rinchen Menzin Lala Jatsa Tu Selerita Seza Nya Yenme Chudam Kyanso Chula Shakya Chudambe Chudan Semba Chudso Unshorin Chen Sumla Chatsa Tu Sadan Gyajin Gyachen Chu Hyun Chu Nujun Dipun Chuni Yondan Che Lamin Mengi Litzindran Soche Tutsi Mengilala Chatsatu. And the hands are down. And this is the last section, getting ready for mantra. So it's just chanted. Dak dong tukar hongla ngatrangi kowar gyur. And then the mantra. Teata ombe kanze bekanze maha bekanze raja samugati soha. But let's go back. We've been chanting a lot. I forgot to read the English. We will go all the way back. So in the main text, it would have been on page 9, the third line, under where it says, Hung Menla Chege Latsuk Malupa. Hung, I invite the 8 Menla brothers. I don't know if everyone can find that. It's right after all the straight chanting. It's on page 9, the bottom. So in English, Hung, I invite the 8 Menla brothers and all deities without exception. Please rain down great splendor. Bestow supreme empowerment upon me who am worthy and faithful. Please dispel false guides and obstacles to longevity. Namo Maha Bekanze Sabariwa Benza Samaya Za Benza Samaya Tiktra Len Om Hum Tram Ria Abi Kensa Hum. Hung, I offer the deities flowers, incense, lamps, scents, forms, sounds, smells, taste, touch, and all things. We complete the 2 accumulations. Argam, Pajam, Pupe, Jupe, Aloke Gende, Nevide Shabda, Rupa Shabda, Gende Rasa, Sapashe, Tatitsa Hung. Hung, I offer the deity the foremost auspiciousness, the 8 substances such as the foremost royal one, white mustard seed. May we complete the 2 accumulations. Mangalam Arta Siddhi Hung. Then the next group is Hung, I offer the deity the foremost auspiciousness, the 8 symbols, such as the foremost royal one, the vase. May all sentient beings complete the 2 accumulations. Mangala Kumbha Hum. Hung, I offer the deity the roots of desirable qualities, the 7 precious things, such as the foremost royal one, the jewel. May I complete the 2 accumulations. Om Mani Rana Hum. And then the mandala. Hung, I offer the deity the foremost of all, the supreme mountain, 4 continents and subcontinents. May the 2 accumulations be completed. Om Rana Mandala Hum. Hung, with scented water. So now we're doing the special section of where we're actually washing, drying, and giving the Buddha clothes. This is definitely going back to sutric practices. Hung, with scented water, I wash the Sukrita's bodies. The deity is without stain. I am creating the auspicious conditions for the purification of wrongs and obscurations. Sarva Tathagata Abhike Kate Samaya Shriye Hum. And now to dry him. Hung, the soft-scented white cotton, I dry the victor's body. The deity is without stain. I'm creating the auspicious conditions for freedom from suffering. Om Kaya Bishodani Hung. Now the clothes. Hung, with beautiful saffron robes, I clothe the victor's body. This body is never cold. I am creating the auspicious conditions for the flourishing of radiance and vitality. Om Benza Watre Ahum. Now the praise. Hum, homage and praise to the precious holder of medicine, whose body is like a mountain of lapis, who dispels the suffering of beings, sicknesses, and is surrounded by a retinue of 8 bodhisattvas. Homage and praise to the 3 jewels, to excellent name, precious moon, good gold, no misery, ocean of Dharma, Dharma mind, and Shakyamuni. To the sacred Dharma, the 16 bodhisattvas, and so forth. Homage and praises to the deities of ambrosial medicine, to Brahma, Indra, the great kings, the 10 protectors of the directions, the 12 Yaksha chiefs, together with their attendants and Vijyaras and rishis of medicine, both divine and human. And now we're back where we were at the mantra. The Hung in the heart of the self in the front generation is surrounded by a mantra garland. So let's see the time. I'm not sure if not all of you were here last week excuse me. I'm so sorry. I've had a death in the family and I'm getting all these messages. So here, I think we'll spend just a little time and then later we'll do even more work with the mantra. But if you can remember, I'm just going to refresh the visualization. So this is how I would practice this. I would go through the whole practice and then I would do what I refresh. I go back and I remind myself of the lineage, taking refuge, then the entire environment became pure. And then we made offerings. Actually, we visualized the mandala, bringing the Buddha to the, excuse me, I've got to turn my phone off a special way. I got to turn this up, Susan. Let me do the do not disturb. There we go. Sorry about that. Thank you. So then we did the visualization of, first there was, we visualized where we are. There was a throne with a beautiful lotus flower and a blue light or blue symbol called home. And then in front of us, there was also the same thing, a mirror of that in front of us and in the sky. And then after we said certain things, we then actually visualized the light from our hearts, my heart, actually from the home, and the light from the home in front, go out and up, make offerings to all the Buddhists, especially Medicine Buddha, and come back as blessings to that home. And then the light goes down and out, removing the suffering of all living beings, and comes back to the home. And in that instant, Medicine Buddha is there. So then you're Medicine Buddha. And there's great blessing in this practice to be Medicine Buddha, because it is working on our impure perception of who we really think we are. I think I'm Cathy Jackson, but really there's so much more to what I could be, so much more what you could be. We have a very, since the moment we were born, we have a very unusual and samsaric view of what our identity is. And the point of the deity practice is to start working on transforming and maybe realigning who we really are, our real identity. So throughout this practice today, you are Medicine Buddha, whether or not you have any confidence in it. Trungpa Rinpoche said, and the practice keeps repeating certain things to keep reminding us this is who we are. And I think it's beautiful that they admitted that most of us probably wouldn't catch it the first time or the 1,000th time. So we are Medicine Buddha, and in front of us is Medicine Buddha. And you would actually visualize a palace if you're really into visualizing, but let's get real. Let's just keep it really simple today. I am Medicine Buddha, and Medicine Buddha is in front of me as an object of veneration and accumulating merit to make offerings to. Then, if you wish to further expand that, surrounding him are 7 other thrones or lotuses with 7 other Buddhas that are associated with Medicine Buddha, and then sort of circles him. And in the very front are all the texts associated, including this text, and all the teachings and all the sutras on the 8th petal. And actually the petal is between us and Medicine Buddha. It's right there in front of us. It's very special. And then on a tier down are all the 16 bodhisattvas that had anything to do with having this practice continue onward. And then the next layer down would be the protectors and the yaksha chieftains who are actually present when the Buddha taught on this and took a vow. They're sort of gods of wealth that are not human, but they're not enlightened either. But they took a vow from now until beginning this time, they would protect all practitioners that do this practice, which is really wonderful. So basically we have this cosmic party going on right now in front of us and within us. So now when we do the practice, the real practice, of course, is to identify yourself as Medicine Buddha, and also the mantra. The mantra is where a lot of the work is done in this practice. Why? Because Medicine Buddha's aspiration was whoever saw him, whoever heard his name, which is in the mantra, throughout the mantra, that they would receive such blessings to remove suffering of their body, speech, and mind for all lifetimes. It doesn't mean he can remove all of our karma, but he's there to remove a great deal of suffering. So what we visualize at this point is, because most of us don't believe we're really Medicine Buddha, but we are, from our heart. So we are made of light, primarily blue light, but of light. And in our forehead is an Om, throat, Ah, our heart, Hum. But then there's also a mantra in our heart, laying kind of flat, kind of like Hawaiian laying down, kind of circling in our heart center. And it's the mantra here, the Te Atau Bikansi Bikansi, Maha Bikansi Radha Samagati Soha. So you visualize from your heart as Medicine Buddha, rays of light shoot forward to the Medicine Buddha in front of you, requesting help all living beings. The light then goes to the Eastern Buddha field, where Medicine Buddha lives and resides. And all the Medicine Buddhas are there. So then Medicine Buddha comes back, and the blessings first of body, speech, and mind. We visualize in the sky is filled with uncountless numbers of first the blessings of body or Medicine Buddhas floating in the sky made of light, filling us. Then the mantra garlands of speech, and then actually his bowl, which is filled with healing substances floating down the sky, entering into us. And after we feel even more confident who we truly are, we then ourselves can actually feel empowered enough to then send all of that to all living beings throughout the universe. You can start with your neighborhood, your household, but it's, Trungpa Rinpoche said it's always better to think really big in this case. So we think very big. So let's just do the mantra for a little while. So first, so you guys you want to all unmute yourselves, and we'll say that I love hearing the mantra with everyone. So I'll ask you all to unmute for a second. Okay, so let's do the mantra together. And so just do it gently so we don't have this sonic thing going on. So I'll start it. Teata ome kanze. We'll say it out loud 7 times, and then we'll just say it very gently. Teata ome kanze be kanze. Maha be kanze. Samagati
Samagati
Teata ome kanze be kanze. Maha be kanze. That's a samagati. Okay, let's do it really gentle now, very quietly. And we'll do this for 5 minutes. And if it's too distracting, just mute yourself. Rande samugate soha de anda om megande megande maha megande rande samugate soha de anda om megande megande maha megande rande samugate soha de anda om megande megande maha megande rande samugate soha de anda om megande megande maha megande rande samugate soha de anda om megande megande maha megande Rande samugate soha de anda om megande megande maha megande Rande samugate soha de anda om megande megande maha megande Rande samugate soha de anda om megande megande maha megande Rande samugate soha de anda om megande megande maha megande Rande samugate soha de anda om megande megande maha megande Rande samugate soha
Metta Om Bentake Bentake Maha Benkasake Raja Sangmat Yaptahi Deyata Om Bentake Bentake Maha Benkante Raja Deyatai Om Bentake Bentake Maha Benkasake Raja Samagata Soha Deyata Om Bentake Bentake Maha Bentake Raja Samagata Soha Deyata Bentake Bentake Maha Bentake Raja Samagata Soha Deyate Om Bentake Bentake Maha Bentake Raja Samagata Soha Deyata Om Bentake Bentake Maha Bentake Raja Samagata Soha Deyata Om Bentake Bentake Maha Bentake Raja Samagata Soha Deyata Om Bentake Bentake Maha Bentake Raja Samagata Soha Deyata Om Bekhanse Bekhanse Maha Bekhan Raja Samagata. Okay, that was beautiful. So now the very ending practice is the confession and dedication. Let's do that right now. And hands to the heart. Diktung kushange wachan chugu nidun tugadrawe drashisho. And in English, I confess all wrongs and downfalls, and dedicate all virtue to awakening. May there be auspiciousness of freedom from sickness, duns, and suffering. Duns are spirits. Tiktim panarane ben zahamo yeshetam silana dala tim kada kunzan lonju imao. The worldly ones return to their own places, benzamu. The yeshepas and namsikpas dissolve into me, and I into the all-good expanse of primordial purity, emaho. And at this moment, everything dissolves. Everything, the whole visualization dissolves into Medicine Buddha, into us as Medicine Buddha, and we dissolve into the mantra in our heart, and then dissolve into light. And just rest in that for a moment. Kristen.
Yeah.
And as soon as regular thinking comes back, then we're done. So you can do further dedication prayers, but I think that's all we'll do for the first section. Are there any really specific questions about it, or did that make sense, how it flowed? I'm going to go into it a little bit more the second time, how it all flows together, but you guys sounded great. Well, maybe we should just take a break right now since it's 11. And so why don't we take a 10-minute break? I have to sort of take care of a family situation right now, and I'll be right back. Thank you. What questions?
Hey, Lhamo, this is the other side here asking a question. Did you see in the chat, someone was asking for that translation of the mantra?
I know. I'm sorry, Lama Cathy. I'm having a death in my family, so I'm trying to take care of that right this second.
Oh,
But
I'm
we're
so
on a
sorry.
break. I've been reading it. I read it. Thank you.
All righty. Hey, yeah, thank you.
Thank you. I gotta run. Gotta step out for a second and make a call.
Okay.
Looks like everyone's almost back. We'll wait just a couple more seconds. Thank you, Tara. We're going to start back in about 1 minute. Thanks, Rusty. So I had several questions and comments. I'm sorry you can't see my hands. Maybe I'll get on my knees and I'll move my camera a different way so you can see me for mudras later on. I have 2 handouts that I'm going to have Lama Cathy send you. One is on a complete page on mantra and the instruction by Trungpa Rinpoche. Of course, if you have the book, you wouldn't even need it. But the second one would be really handy, which is I think, taught like this over a couple of months, and one is on ritual. And so I go into where we put our hands in prayer, how we make offerings to the shrine. And it also, because I'm really into music, I think the next time, maybe we should meet a third time, and then I talk all about musical notations. And if you have at home a drum or cymbals or a bell and dorje, you can definitely do this. Or if you have jolines, that would be great. The big reed instruments. But I think the most important thing in this class is to really give you confidence to do the practice. And a really good question was, when do we do this at the center? We do this the second Sunday of the month at 10 a.m. And is it 8:30 a.m. you do green Tara or white Tara, Marilyn? Go ahead, yeah. Marilyn, do a plug, Marilyn.
Yes, 8:30.
So what is the schedule for Tara?
It's green Tara this Sunday. It's green Tara every Sunday except the first Sunday of the month, which will be white Tara.
Great, thank you. But I just want to remind everyone, I have this schedule and I thought sometimes it's really mysterious on iPad. Things that are on my iPhone are supposed to show up on iPad and they don't. Let me look one more time. So what I'm referring to is a KTD every Sunday night, unless there's a 10-day teacher or something going on. Kempa Urjin and the entire crew there do the Medicine Buddha practice. And so I'm just gonna look one more time to see if this is shown up on this screen yet. Nope, not shown up. Maybe I should try, I'm trying to think of a way to send it from my phone to my iPad. I don't want to turn my iPad off, but I find, so I'm just going to say this out loud. So this sounds silly, but this is what I did. I broke down all the practices they do on a certain night and what time it was all offered. So when they do Medicine Buddha at KTD, they do a lot of other practices. They always start with a Tashi prayer. The second prayer is Guru Rinpoche, because this is Enigma practice, so it's always in honor of Guru Rinpoche. The third prayer would be Medicine Buddha, which is often starts around sometimes 6 minutes in. And then at the end of that, there is a small insert to the 7 other Medicine Buddhas, which you can find on KTD website. And then at the end of everything, they do this special prayer for the pandemic, the Sakya prayer for pandemic, which is beautiful. So every Sunday night they do that. But I think it'd be nice if you got this from me, sort of to understand how it's broken down. It took me a while to find what night I really thought was, it's so nice to add something else on, depending on, what day it is in the month, because we go by a lunar calendar. One was great. It was Amitabha Sukhavati prayer for about 30 or 40 minutes. And I have a slow version and a fast version. So I'm going to make sure to send you that, send you the page on ritual, and send you the page on mantra, because I think the whole point of this practice is mantra. Somebody asked the translation of the mantra. I had that all written out and I can't find it. Let me look at my text. Usually, and that's something else I should really talk about is it's okay to write in your text. Your text is basically a workbook to enlightenment, right? I had it in my other text. I changed text a few years ago. But basically the mantra are the names of Medicine Buddha. Now, most Tibetan mantras come from a Sanskrit root, and they are seed syllables. They are sound vibrations of healing. But here, they all have to do with referring back to Medicine Buddha, to his name, by Sajay, which is in Sanskrit. And so that's essentially, and I'm sorry, I don't have word for word. I used to have all that, and I can't believe I don't have it, but I don't. But I think the most important thing is, with most mantras, like Om Mani Padme Hum, yes, there is, we could say it's the one mantra, but Khenpo Rinpoche always said it's so much more than the translation. It's all the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years of all those that have done this practice. And for this, it's in honor of Medicine Buddha. So how did it go doing the practice this morning? Was that okay? Everyone's quiet. Let me go to page 2. Okay, Ellen, thank you, Ellen, for the thumbs up. So I'm on Tanya, Ellen, Alicia, Bill, Matthew, Shirley, Helder, Sally, and Chucky. How was it for you? Was it okay? Do you want more of that? Because I was going to do it one more time. But hi, Shirley. But kind of break it down first. Shirley, can you talk to me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Haven't heard your voice in ages. How are you doing?
Good. No, this This morning was really great. I was a little bit slow. It was my fault. I went to bed later than I should have. So it was really great. One thing that would really help is when you have a
Yes.
moment, could you just flash how those books look like? So I know we're going to buy them and we won't pay a ton of money on eBay, but if you can just flash how they look like so we know.
A lot of people are flashing right now. Hold on, let me go back to my screen. So this is the first book. This is the same book. Let me show you the book that most people would buy. This is the book. And if you have the handout at the very bottom of the second or third page, I have references. And this is it. This is the book I show.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And may I, one more question.
Go ahead.
Were you doing off of, there was a version of the Medicine Buddha practice that was wonderfully translated by Michelle Martin. Was what you were doing this morning off of that? Or I know there's similar versions hanging
Right.
around. There's one from Shenpen
So
Osno, or
Michelle's is exactly this practice.
perfect. Okay.
But I would say, I was thinking today while we were in the middle of this, I was thinking, oh, I should have that up on the screen because maybe I could do that because
Yeah, that would be
Michelle's
great.
English is just so,
It's
Michelle
little,
worked
yes.
further with Trungpa Rinpoche and Khenpo Rinpoche to really fine tune this. Let's just see for fun if I can download this. It's tricky on an iPad to download things a little bit. Let me look, see if I have it in Dropbox.
That would be great if there's any way you can show on screen when you're chanting, because I find myself reconciling. It's only teeny tiny bit difference, but my brain was very slow this morning. The caffeine didn't kick in. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you.
Do not have a text?
I do have the text. The parts when you're reading English seemed a little bit different from.
Oh, they are. They're
Michelle.
always different. No question. There's different. That's a good point. I won't do any English today. I'm going to start doing that today because it's too confusing. I'm sorry. This is taking me a little bit of time. Let's see. No, it's not there. I'm sorry. It's so hard. I'm actually going to probably not have an iPad because I love my iPad, but I don't like this part of share content. It's too tricky. They did that. Nope. I'm going to try one other place. I might have bookmarked it. No, I don't think I've been in this file for a little while. Yeah, I should have gone in earlier today. I tried to get in, but it's hard. It takes a while to download all those things. All right, with that, thanks for the feedback. All right, so I thought I would talk about just a few more things. Here, let me see any other questions. Oh, here's Michelle's. Let's see. Thank you, Lama Cathy, whoever sent it. Let's see if I can, actually it's on my computer, but I don't know. Can you guys see that? Yeah. Yes. Lama Cathy included that. So if you guys go over to the chat, it says here's the latest version of Michelle Martin's translation. So there it is. Okay. So someone asked about mandala. Somebody would like to have a PDF of the Medicine Buddha teaching of that book, you mean? All right, let's talk about mandala. All right, one last question, mandala. So in this practice, when we offer a mandala, they actually are, if any of you do Mudra, they're doing that. And I'm trying to think, I'm going to get on my knees for a second. I'm not praying, but. So this was the Mandala Mudra. And so you take your fingers and you interlace them. You grab your thumbs and put on the outside pads of your little finger. You put your little middle finger and then back to back. and then you take your index finger and pull down the middle finger. But it's very hard to just show like that. So, all right. Obviously, I can't do that easily from here. It's very well described in so many places. Just go online and just look on Facebook or somewhere how to do a Buddhist mandala with your hands. Just Mandala Mudra. And that should, mandala, so we're all a mandala. Mandala is like a gathering. So we're all a mandala right here. Your family is a mandala. Mandala can be a very beautiful design, or kind of a bohemian, you know, tapestry on someone's wall. I love those. And you've also seen mandalas where they take a deity practice, show it in a 3D model. But also we do mandalas using our hand gestures. Mandala can be used for many different things. So we do this gesture with our hands because we're envisioning. So I should back up. When we're doing all the offerings, if you do Mundro, please look up all the different type of offerings during mandala. So it just often it lists just one thing like a vase or something, but it's all kinds of ancient, very beautiful types of offerings we're making. And then we also in this part do it with our hands with this gesture. I'm looking for my mala. You would actually you could also put your mala over your hands to do it also. But we're envisioning the different continents, we're envisioning Mount Meru, and everything that's goodness and beautiful we're offering to the entire universe. So often when you're in a practice and you're in the middle of trying to get your hands together, I forget that this is a really profound offering. So if nothing else, just remember that. Let's see, yes, there's all kinds of links to that book, and thank you everyone. And I have it on this iPad, but my iPad, all right, let's try just one more time. I just determined, I had it, the last class I had it on, and then for this class, I don't know how things must drop off is what happens a little bit. Dropbox, I've been in. Yeah, I'm in all the time. Oh, this might be it. I'm not patient enough with things. There it is. Thank you, Shirley. Let's see if it'll open. Yeah, let's not do that. It wants to do it so bad. All right, well, we're just not going to mess around with this anymore. Okay, forget that. Wasn't that fun? This is life with an iPad. I have a cheap old HP and it just pops right on the HP, but not on my iPad. Okay, so I've already wasted enough time. Let's go on. So I thought one more time I'm going to sort of, this time when we go through the practice, I would, and if any of you have the handout that Lama Cathy sent you from me, this is an old handout. I apologize. I did it in 2011, but I spent weeks working on it. And the very last page is my favorite page because this is how I think. It says Medicine Buddha Organizational Chart. And it's just on the very last page. And basically, this is when I'm doing the practice. I take a moment and I look at that. And it says things like preliminaries, lineage supplication, refuge and bodhicitta, consecration of offerings, 4 measurables. And then it goes into the whole generation stage, and then the completion stage of the dissolution. So it all flows so nicely together. So when you do it, you can just remember the lineage, remember refuge, and everything becomes pure. Then you bring the deity to the room. And I spent a lot of time on that last week, but Trungpa Rinpoche does such a brilliant job at describing that in such detail because he spent an entire week teaching this. So essentially, I mentioned that you become Medicine Buddha, and Medicine Buddha is in front of you. The entire mandala is in front of you, and then
my favorite line in Trungpa Rinpoche's entire book is on page 37. Hold on. So he talks all about how to visualize yourself as Medicine Buddha. And then he said, while it is entirely appropriate to visualize yourself as Medicine Buddha and to visualize Medicine Buddha in the retinue in front of you, you may still have some hesitations or doubts that the visualization is anything more than just a visualization. I've even heard some teachers say pretending. I put that in. This is understood, and therefore the next place of the practice is designed to counteract that doubt. In order to alleviate any residual doubts that you may have, you next invite the actual wisdom deities, and then they dissolve into the visualization. So where's that in the text? That is, nice if I had the text in front of me. But isn't that brilliant that they have that clause? Like, yes, that's for Cathy Jackson. Thank you so much. Let me push you back for a minute and find it in the text. It's in the text. Remember when we did the reading trance? We did just the straight chanting. Often you do straight chants when you're doing a visualization. It's on page 9, the second line. It says, from the 3 syllables and the 3 places of all, and from the hung in the heart, light is projected. And this invites the Buddhists, the Yeshe-pas, from their individual Eastern Buddha realms. And not only that, then they give us an empowerment, and then we make offerings to them. I mean, it's just brilliant. But they actually dissolve into you. So there were 2 little details I always forget to mention that I think are really important. But isn't that, I just love that clause, in case there's hesitation or doubt. And that's why if you do Tara, if you do Amitabha, there's a lot of repetition. You think, why are they doing this again? That's why. Because already you've forgotten who your real identity is. So I think we'll just walk through the text one time before we chant it. So we already know that the beautiful supplication written by Karmachagami is for, and I'm going to kind of do a snapshot from my handout. So the supplication, basically, the whole point of it is to invoke and receive the blessings of everyone that has been associated with Medicine Buddha that brought this practice to fruition, and also Medicine Buddha. So these are 9 supplications. So they're in four phrases each. So we go to page 2, the very front page with a picture of Medicine Buddha. So if you have another text, just the very first stanza is in Sanskrit, Namo Bekanze Maharajaya. So I did translate this. So Namo is homage, Bekanze is Medicine Buddha, Maha is great, and Rajaya is king. Is king of medicine. So it's homage to the great king of medicine. So then you have, so I'll read in English. You are endowed with the oceanic qualities and oceanic treasury of qualities and merit. Through your waves of your splendorous, inconceivable compassion, you pacify the suffering and misery of beings. I supplicate the light of Lapis Lazuli. Those lines are the first stanza. And so that was addressed to Medicine Buddha based on his initial aspiration as a bodhisattva to help all beings. So then it goes through the next one, starts those bound by intense greed are born in the realm of pretas. And the translation is a little awkward, but essentially it's saying, if you're born as a hungry ghost, may you be born because of the teachings and the practice of Medicine Buddha, you'll be born human, and you will then practice generosity. So they all go through that. And so it's just really beautiful. So those are the aspirations and the supplication. So that's there. And we're done with that. And then on page 6, it's just a little instruction from the author, probably a little bit from Karmachagami, a little bit from Namcho Mingyur Dorje. Page 7, we now begin with refuge. And just to kind of reiterate that in a little technicality, refuge is almost always done with the hands in Anjali at our heart, or actually, in prayer. And we usually always repeat it 3 times. And often if the word Namo starts the first time, we repeat Namo the second and third time. So moving there. So we took refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, the Lama, the Yidam protectors. We took it in everything, in both the Sutra and the Vajrayana style of Buddhism.
Excuse me, Kathy, could you please clarify where you are? I don't have page numbers on the handout that I received.
Okay, so do you have a text?
I have a paper text that I have this text sent,
Who is
and I don't see any page numbers on it.
Leona. Can you show me that?
And
Leona?
then I have an the one that was sent as what we're using for this class.
Okay, I never saw that. That's nice. I didn't know that. Okay, so is that the practice actually in there? Oh yeah. So go ahead and open that up. Can you read what it says in the beginning? Oh.
At the very beginning, a deep blue stream, a sadhana of medicine Buddha compiled from the luminous expanse of nine treasures found with the sky dharma.
Hold on. Let me, I have it on my phone. Hold on. I forgot my phone. I can do everything. My phone before iPad. So are a lot of you using this? That one? Okay, let me go in. I forgot I have it on my phone. I love you open it up and it goes to the last page, right? The front page. Okay, so you're on page 6. I was on page 6 when I did the supplication, but let me move on. I'll show you where we are now in refuge. Hold on. Oh, the page numbers might be different because I'm on a phone and you're probably on a computer.
It's page 12 in the PDF.
Okay, and on my phone, it's page 25. So it says Namo Kunjuk Sum. Do you see that, Leona? Somebody said page 12.
I don't
Leona?
have page numbers.
All right.
I don't have page numbers. I'll just listen. Thank you.
So is there actually, are there prayers? But there's prayers.
In the PDF, if you're looking in the PDF, you can see page numbers, but when you print it, there's no page numbers.
Oh, great. Okay, so could you maybe just go forward, Leona, by about 12 pages? I'm so sorry, everyone.
I'm all set to listen. Thank you.
Page and count 12 pages after including the picture page. Count 12 pages and you should be there.
This is the joy of having so many different texts. Wow. I'm going to have to mute.
If it would help, I could share screen and have it on the screen if that would help.
Sure, go ahead, Mama Kathy, go ahead.
Yeah, I will need your permission.
Oh, go ahead and go for it.
No, but you'll have to, because the host is disabled screen sharing.
Let's see.
See if you can do it. I'll try to get it up for you. doke.
Sorry, I was out of the loop for a little bit. Do you have it, Lama Cathy?
Let me take a quick look now. Yeah, so we're ready to roll. Hang on just a second. Okay, sorry, it's a little too big now, but we'll get it all figured out. Okay, let's minimize that a bit. And okay.
So the Sanskrit should be the same. Yeah, I had that in the last class. I don't know why it didn't open this time.
There we are. How's that for a start?
That's good. We're on refuge now.
Okay.
So it's about probably several pages, I think.
Okay. Just gonna roll it.
Yeah, there were 9 stanzas. We're getting close.
There we are.
Okay. Can everyone hear me? Because I can't see anyone. So can someone unmute and tell me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
Sounding good.
Yes.
Now I can't remember what I was saying. Okay, so Lama Cathy, I'm just kind of gonna fly just to let you know. I'm just kind of doing an overview. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me get my stuff back out. Okay, so we were done with the supplications to the lineage. Then we went for refuge to, as you see here, to the sources of refuge, the 3 jewels and the 3 roots. I go for refuge to bring all beings to the level of Buddhahood. I awaken the mind of supreme awakening. So I awaken the mind of supreme awakening. So this is also taking the Bodhisattva vow. Then next, okay, so from the expansive primordial purity comes clouds of offerings that fill the earth and sky with mandalas of royal articles and goddesses. May they never be exhausted, Puzaho. This is where the entire environment is transformed. So you imagine, so not everything in the text is very abbreviated and very concise. So not everything that we're doing is written actually in the text, but that's why you get a reading, transmission, empowerment, then later instruction. But according to Trungpa Rinpoche, at this point, you imagine the place of practice is completely a pure realm, filled with mandalas made of inexhaustible substances, as was mentioned there. And this is to readjust your impure perception and attitude towards yourself, others, and your environment. Okay, keep going. Next, we have the 4 immeasurables. And these are from the point of view of Medicine Buddha. May all beings be happy and free of suffering from doing this practice, and then may they abide in complete happiness and equanimity, okay? And next is the generation stage, the visualization. Did the Sabawa Mantra. Oh, okay. I should, pardon me, I'm gonna move my text around too. Great, perfect, it's right where I'm at in my text. Great. And so here is where we actually, so you can read along with me. Om Sabawa Shuddha Sarva Dharma Sabawa Shuddha Om. So many times in the Tibetan text, they will always have Sanskrit, some kind of Sanskrit phrase to honor the Sanskrit roots of the practices of the time of the Buddha. So this, the meaning of this is a very special phrase, and it means not only are all things pure in their nature, but they are in of themselves a very embodiment of that purity. And then we move on, and then it says everything is emptiness. From the depth of emptiness, the triple universe becomes an exquisite palace on top of a lotus moon disk set on a lion throne. Appear deep blue homes, the seed syllable of myself and the main figure visualized in front. I love that Michelle included what this is. So right now, where you're seated and in front of you,
let's just work where we're seated right now. Just sort of for a moment, suspend who you think you are and think that where you're seated, there is a throne. And on top of that is a flat moon disc. And on top of that is a lotus of usually 16 petals. And there is a blue seed syllable, this home facing outward, or just think of a blue light seated right where you are, right on top of the lotus. Okay, thank you, Lama Cathy. Then from the home, that blue home, arises Medicine Buddha, deep blue in color, radiating light and wearing Dharma robes. And then in the mudra, and he's seated in the mudra of supreme generosity with his right hand. So if you're trying to see a picture, my whole house is full of Medicine Buddha. I can't find a picture. Sorry, I see now one now. So in the mudra of supreme generosity, in his right hand, he holds an arura. So in his right hand, he's holding a plant. And this is a plant, a very healing plant. Some people in ancient days called it myrobalan. Then the next description talks about his left hand, where he's holding a bowl in his left hand in the mudra of meditation. Mudra meditation is where looks like you're holding something in your lap. And that is also filled with also like this healing plant or the elixir from it. He has the major and minor marks, which show that he's a Buddha, and he's sitting in the Vajra posture. And then on the petals, now we switch gears. Now there's a frontal visualization. On the petals of the front visualization, and so this whole section here is not how to do it all, but kind of what's to come. Are 7 Buddhas, Sakyamuni and others, and the Dharma text. That would make the 8th. They're actually seated on lotuses that look like thrones. And then also in the front one has all the Dharma text. Okay. I don't think I can do this. No, let me get this to me. And behind them, actually, okay, surrounding. So then a little further down, you might say, are other lotus petals, 16 of them surrounding them, with bodhisattvas associated with the practice. And then further down, supposedly, Tongpa Rinpoche had said, in the space all around the palace, are 10 guardians of the world to his right or left, and the 12 great Yaksha chieftains and their retinues on the right. So basically, and this is just the key players, and the last key players are the great kings at each gate of the palace. And the sky would be filled, was just completely filled with all of them and their retinues and all those associated with this practice. Then light rays radiate from the 3 syllables in all the 3 places. That's in the forehead, throat, and heart, and from the hong in the 2 hearts, inviting from their own Eastern Buddha realms countless wisdom deities who dissolve into the self in the front visualization. This is where Tongpa Rinpoche said, if you didn't have confidence in the first part, then you do this part where you invite them, and then they further bring their blessings. And then it says, Hong the 8 medicine brothers and all their deities without exception, I invite here to this place. Please shower upon us your great blessing and bestow the supreme empowerment on this worthy and faithful one. So not only have they come with blessings, they're now going to empower us. And then we say, hold on, I'm just gonna look on my handout just for 1 second, I'm sorry. We say 2 mantras. These are kind of rolled together. The first one is Namo Maha Bekhanze Sapariwara Benza Samayat Za. And then you imagine that they dissolve first into you, all the medicine Buddhas from the medicine Buddha realm. And the second one is Za Benza Samaya Tiktra Len. That then they are dissolved into the frontal visualization. then you, even though, because you still think you're human, you then receive the empowerment of the 5 Buddha family. Om, Hum, Cham, Hri, Those are the 5 seed syllables of the 5 medicine Buddha, of the 5 Buddha families. And part of that is also Abi Kansa Hum. So it's Om, Hum, Cham, Hri, Abi Kansa Hum. So now we received all the empowerments and all the blessings. So what do? We now make offerings of flowers, incense, lights, scents, food, music, and all precious things. And this is where we use, and then it says, as well as forms, sounds, smells, taste, touch, and all phenomena. And I offer them to all the deities. May we complete the 2 accumulations. Then this is in Sanskrit, where we do the hand gestures, which, like when we do Amitabha and Chenrezig on certain nights, we then do part of this is the same. I can't read all of it. It says Argam, Padyam, Pupe, Dupi, Alaki, Gende, Newade, Shabda. And then the extra ones for Medicine Buddha are Rupa, Shabda, Gende, Rasa, Saparshe, Tatisa, Hum. And now there's further, so that was the beautiful offerings that we often do on a shrine. Now we make other offerings. Sorry, I'm just looking up all my notes. So the first were the major auspicious 8 offerings, but then we also make offerings according to the sutras. So first, actually, I'm sorry, the 8 auspicious substances, things like conch shell, yogurt, durva grass, vermilion, bulva fruit, myrrh, that would be the next one, I think. The supreme royal white mustard seed. Oh, no, that's probably in the next. No. Anyway, we're making offerings. Hung the primary auspicious 8 substances, then it lists them. Hello, Mama Cathy. The supreme royal white mustard seed and others, I offer them to all the deities. May the 2 accumulations be completed. Mangalam, Arta Siddhi, Hung. And then the next one is the primary auspicious 8 symbols, the supreme royal vase and the others. I'm looking for that right now. Oh, here it is. These are the signs or marks, the 8 auspicious signs and marks. Okay. Then I offer them all to the deity. Then the next group is may all living beings complete the 2 accumulations. Mangala Kumbha Hum. And then Hung for the support for desirable qualities of 7 precious articles. The primary, the royal jelly, and others, I offer them to the deity. Wow. Sorry, I'm just looking for them in my text. And then the support for desirable qualities is 7 precious articles. I already read that. I offer them all to the deity. Okay. There should be a Sanskrit word coming up. May I complete the 2 accumulations? Om Mani Radha Hum. Okay, that was that group. Now the next one is the Mandala. Hung up supreme among Mount Meru with its 4 continents and their subcontinents. I offer all this to the deity. May the 2 accumulations be completed. Om Ratna Mandala Hum. And then lastly, we start the bathing with perfume water. I bathe the Sukrita's body with the deity's flawlessness, creates auspicious conditions to purify all wrongs and obscurations. And so again, this is the Sanskrit. The Sanskrit says what we just said. Om Sarvatatagata Apike Kati Samaya Shri Hum. Then we are the soft a scented cloth of white cotton. I dry the victor's body. Though your body is flawless, this creates the auspicious conditions for freedoms, suffering. Okay. And then hung with these beautiful saffron robes, I clothe the victor's body. So again, this is further. This time we're clothing him. Though your body is never cold, this creates the auspicious conditions for vitality and radiance to flourish. Om Benzo Waitere Ahom. And home, your body is like a deep blue mountain. You eliminate the suffering of illness, surrounded by a retinue of 8 bodhisattvas. Precious holder of medicine, I offer you praise and prostrations. So this is, we're praising Medicine Buddha, and we're also praising the other Medicine Buddhas. This is their name in translation. To excellent name, precious moon, fine gold, free of misery, ocean of resounding Dharma, Dharma mind, and Shakyamuni. Shakyamuni Buddha is one of them. The genuine Dharma, the 16 bodhisattvas, and all the others, as well as the precious 3 jewels, I offer you praise and prostrations. And we say who it's to now: to Brahma, Indra, great kings, protectors of the 10 directions, the 12 Yaksha chieftains. Their 10th, as I mentioned, they were there when he was teaching. To the Vaidyuras, rishis of medicines, both divine and human. To the deities of ambrosial medicine, I offer you praise and prostrations. And now we begin getting ready for the mantra, and the hung in the heart of the front, self in front visualization is surrounded by a mantra garland. Now this is interesting. Let's read this. See, I've never seen this. Through radiating multicolored light rays, offerings are made to Medicine Buddha in the pure realm, appearing in the east in a deep blue color. The lights invoke his mind stream, from which Medicine Buddha's bodies, both large and small, his speech is mantra garlands, and his mind is the emblems of the aurora, and the offering bowl filled with amrita, all descend like rain and dissolve into myself in the front visualization. I've never seen this before. That's great. This is worth all the money. Thank you, Lami Kathy. So then this is the mantra. Teata Om Bekanze Bekanze Maha Bekanze Raja Samugate Soha. So Bekanze Bekanze refers to Medicine Buddha. Maha Bekanze Raja, so that would be, remember Raja is doctor, so the great doctor of medicine, Samugate Soha. Mama Kathy, I don't know the full translation of the words. I haven't broken them down in years.
Yeah,
Then,
I have the copy you gave me a few years ago of that, and I couldn't find my copy either.
yeah, I have it somewhere. I just can't find it. Anyway, just remember, it's the sound and seeing this. And his aspiration was not only would people see him, when he was alive, but people would see images of him or see the words of his name. Just seeing the images here are just full of blessings. Then at the end, we have confession. All wrongs and downfalls, I confess and dedicate all virtue to full awakening. What do we confess? We confess that we kept forgetting in the visualization to be Medicine Buddha, that I might be spacing out, that I might be looking at my watch when I go do something else, or I just wasn't attentive enough. That's what we're confessing. And then at the end part, may we see a better time of freedom from illness. Oh, I like that. Suffering and harmful spirits. May we see a better time of freedom from illness, suffering, and harmful spirits. Boy, we can really say that these days. May we see a better time of freedom from coronavirus, suffering, and harmful spirits. Then at the very end is the prayer to return and dissolution. So the worldly ones, that would be the protectors and the Yaksha chieftains. They return to where they're from. We just basically say, thank you so much, now you can go. Benzamu is associated with a tiny little mantra. Let's see, Tara wrote a note. I'm just looking here for just 1 second, a chat. Let's see. You know, the meaning of the offerings, we'll go through that in a second. And then Tara said, but they're also in all the Chenrezig practices, and most of them are. But let me see, Tara said, if when you're doing the visualization of Medicine Buddha in the palace, you see a small Russian blue cat running around and sitting in his lap, his name is Nick Frey! Okay, yes, thank you. Thank you so much. I needed that. And then, see, this is how practice should be, very playful. So we ask the worldly ones thank them and ask them to leave. Then the wisdom and the Samaya deities, they all dissolve into me. Remember, I'm Medicine Buddha. And I dissolve into my primordial purity, the expanse of all goodness. Imaho. Imaho means, oh, how wonderful. And that's it. Thank you, Lama Cathy. Oh, we got to read this part. This is the best part. I read this and I was so inspired. This ornament of mind treasure was extracted from the sky dharma and arranged by Ragasya, which is Karmachagami. If there are errors, I confess them before the deity. Through this virtue, may all living beings, once freed from sickness, swiftly attain the level of Medicine Buddha. So, all of you doing this now, we're all going to become Buddhas. Of course, we are anyway. Although the sutras place the practice of ablution at the beginning, this is a higher practice of the unsurpassed Yoga Tantra. So there's no contradiction when it appears at the end. If you take this as your regular practice, the benefits are the following. If you are ordained, your discipline will be maintained. Even if there is an occasion when it is not, having purified this obscuration, you will not fall into the lower realms. Having purified the negative karma of being born as a hell being, hungry ghost, or an animal, you will not take these rebirths. Even if you do, you will be immediately liberated, take a fortunate rebirth in a higher realm and gradually attain awakening. In this life as well, you will easily obtain food and clothing, will not be harmed by disease, negative spirits, sorcery, or the punishment of rulers. You will be protected and guarded by Vajrapani, Brahma, and I can't see that. And the great kings of the four directions and the 12 great Yaksha chiefs, each of their retinue of 700,000. You will be freed from the 18 kinds of untimely death and from harm of enemies, carnivorous beasts, and others. All your wishes will be fulfilled, will be fully realized, and much more. In the 2 more extensive sutras of Medicine Buddha, the benefits are said to be inconceivable. In the great monastic centers such as Jiang Damring, Pakor Chude, and other great monastic colleges, where the scholars find fault with most dharma and are difficult to satisfy, only this Medicine Buddha ritual for prolonging life and clearing away the obscurations of the dead has spread widely. The ritual to be performed before the Joa in Lhasa, Tibet's Bodh Gaya, and before the great awakened one in Samye is the ritual of Medicine Buddha. You can trust that within any of the oral and treasure teachings, within the new and the old transmissions, within any of the sutras and tantras, nothing is more beneficial than the practice of Medicine Buddha. There are many extensive and concise versions. This one has few words and the entire meaning. Since it belongs to Onattara Yoga, rituals of purification are not needed. Since the offerings are mental, it is all right not to offer torments or make other offerings. Therefore, everyone can do this practice. Simple, I don't know what, Shubham. That sounds like Shazam, but it's Shubham. And then this is translated under the guidance of Kenshin Trungpa Rinpoche and Khenpo Kartje Rinpoche by Michelle Martin, with reference to translation of Lama Yeshe Ganso and assistance of Ngudip Perkar. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lama Cathy, for bringing that up.
Hey, Lamo.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Matthew. I'm sorry to jump in here, but I think I have something of value that other folks might have that might be interested
Oh,
in.
sure.
While we were doing things, I was rapid fire scanning. I have visuals for the palace, for the mudras. I don't know if you can see the screen or not.
I want to say one thing about that.
Captain Rinpoche this was before the internet was huge.
Uh-huh.
He said I remember people would show him their interpretation of things, and he would say, that's fine, but we all have our own way of visualizing things. So you can share these, but I just want you all to know we all have very different minds. So, but of course, I mean, like the images of Medicine Buddha and the mudras are perfect, but, and the palace, but I just want you to know that you can use your own mind also and your own heart when you see these images. Thank you. You can send the links to us, and we'll do the links because we are not going to have enough time to do all this. But thank you so much.
Sure. There's the PDF in my Dropbox.
Oh, great, great. And Trungpa Rinpoche's book shows all the mudras, just to let you know. And the mudras really vary by monastery, so I don't know how. I should probably take a look at those just to see if these are the correct mudras. Where did you get this from?
You know what? I've had these with my text for like the last 20 years. I can't remember where I got them from, but I've had them for a while.
These are, okay, so these are from KTD.
Okay.
Lama Cathy, are you there? Lama Cathy?
Yeah, I'm here. I know what you're referring to there. Matthew, I've seen those, and Lama Karma has a revision that's, I think, a little bit better than that.
Yeah, these are very old. Yeah.
On the mudras. But in terms of the actual drawings of the mandala and so forth, I'd like to have maybe Lamo take a look at those and see how those work. But I really do appreciate you having those and taking good care of them for the last 20 years, Matthew. And
these are from one of the first books Khenpo Rinpoche did on Medicine Buddha, but he wasn't happy with a lot of the diagrams and wanted to redo them later. So he didn't have us use this, just to let you know. Yeah.
So like I say, I'll go ahead and get that YouTube of Lama Karma doing the.
That would be great.
Yeah. Because he's got a I'll tell you what, Lama Karma Drodol has YouTube videos, I think, for just about everything. So we'll
yeah,
see.
I sat in on his
thanks again.
I attended his Medicine Buddha retreat that a lot of the videos, I think I'm in one, maybe playing drum or something. But Rinpoche was still alive, and he would run upstairs and like triple check everything with Rinpoche before he did anything with us. It was really lovely. So I felt like the lineage was very alive there, Rinpoche verifying everything. So, but those are great. Those are very valid on YouTube. They're more, I would say, the current ones. Yeah, but thank you. So the time is moving on. Wow, I'm sorry, I did not mean to read all that in English. But sometimes it's nice to see a new translation, because some of these translations are so old, and not that there's anything wrong with it, but the translators now are, Michelle Martin is just exquisite translator. She translates for His Holiness Gyawa Karmapa. So I really trust her, and I trust her website. She also has a wonderful one for green Tara, by the way. I don't know if she has a white Tara one, but I know she did a green Tara on e-Dharma books, or I think it's e-books or e-Dharma, something. I've told you about it before, but it's really lovely. So I think maybe we only have a few minutes left. Let me see if any other comments. Oh, thank you, Lama Cathy. Whoever did that. Let's go over the mantra. Mantra's where all the work is in this practice. So I'm going to, like I said, have Lama Cathy send you my handout on the mantra. But I'm simply going to read, maybe I'll use that handout today. So how is a visualization for you guys? Do you kind of get it now? The deity comes, you know, and at first you're just going to be pretending that this is, and then over time it's going to become, if you're not used to a deity practice, this is a great one to start with, because you'll learn how easy it is to do these visualizations. And at first, yeah, maybe you won't see I remember Khenpo Rinpoche, in the old days, we would always ask him, oh, I can't visualize this and all the mandala and all that. He would say, then just think of the deity's eyes. Just look at the deity's eyes. That's all you have to think about. Or one feature that you really like. For me, I really love the color of Medicine Buddha. So I just think there's this blue presence. And that helps me a lot. So you can be creative with your practices. You can always check back with me or Lama Cathy or any of the lamas. I mean, you probably should check back with them, not me. I'm just so ordinary. I'm just repeating Rinpoche's words. But I remember so well, Rinpoche would say, and Trungpa Rinpoche though would say, do your best, but never stop trying to get better. And when you're doing these practices, and especially if you've been doing it for a long time, don't be lazy. Try and breathe more life into your practice. How? Read his books. I'm always reading new things out of Trungpa Rinpoche's books, going, oh, I didn't know that. Or I wasn't doing that as smoothly as I could. And over time, the practice just will get smoother and smoother. And the more you do, the more blessings there are, the more easier it is to do. I said last time we met about the mantra recitation and speed. Khenpo Rinpoche many times has said, the beginning, say the mantra a little slower. And it's a long mantra, it's 22 syllables. So it's going to take a while to do a mala instead of, Chenrezi, 6 syllables, it just goes like that. Medicine Buddha is a little longer, which is nice because then you have more time to work with the visualization, in my opinion. But over time, when you do it and you follow it a little slower but precise, then suddenly it speeds up on its own without you even trying. You'll start going really rapid speed. Sometimes you should, I hope you have the opportunity to get a reading transmission from Lama Karma. As a boy, he was famous for doing Tibetan very fast. And so he can do reading transmissions very quickly. But when I remember taking the class with him, Medicine Buddha, but he can bring it way down very slowly and so precisely how to pronounce it, and then slowly bring it back up again. So I just want to make sure, when I heard the mantra recitation, which was beautiful today, I wasn't sure if everyone was saying it correctly. So I'm going to do it one more time. I thought, let's unmute ourselves. Everyone, you can unmute and we'll do this. Can I unmute you? I think you unmute yourselves, or I have to give you permission. Mm-hmm. There we go. So, particularly around the word Bekanze, I heard some unusual versions. So I'm going to say a syllable and then you're going to repeat it with me. So we'll start. Teata.
Teata.
Om Bekanze.
Om Bekanze.
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 Maha Bekanze.
Maha Bekanze.
Raja.
Raja.
Samudgate.
Samudgate.
Soha.
Soha.
So this time, we'll say it really softly. Teata.
Teata.
Om Bekanze.
Om Bekanze.
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 Maha Bekanze.
Maha Bekanze.
Raja.
Raja.
Samudgate.
Samudgate.
Soha.
Soha.
Teata Om Bekanze.
Teata
Bekanze.
Bekanze.
Maha Bekanze.
Maha Bekanze.
Raja. Samugate Soha.
Samugate Soha.
And go on Facebook, go on YouTube, and you can hear Khenpo Rinpoche doing that. It's really nice. He's just giving the reading transmission of just the mantra, but it's so nice to hear his voice. Okay, so now we're going to talk more about the mantra. I'll just kind of mute everyone again. Whoops. So I wanted to just reiterate that when you're doing the mantra, you actually refresh the whole visualization. So when you're saying that kind of slowly at first, usually we always say it out loud 7 or 9 times. What I'm doing is I'm kind of reminding myself, I'm Medicine Buddha. Medicine Buddha's in front of me. We've received blessings from Medicine Buddha. And I received an empowerment. So I'm now fully empowered to be Medicine Buddha. I might remind myself of my features. I'm made of blue light. I'm like a tent of blue light. And in my heart center is my mantra. And I have white Om. Well, basically everything is pretty much light, just Om, Hom, seed syllables on me. And then I'm, like I said, the mantra is in my heart. And you're just emanating blue light. And then you're remembering the whole time you do the practice that you're there to remove suffering of all living beings throughout the universe. And you can't get sick doing the practice. You have the blessings of Medicine Buddha. And you might not yourself be healed instantly. She said it takes a while sometimes. It just depends on your karma. But your activity is that of removing suffering of any kind, any discomfort. So first though, in order to become more confident of who you are, you receive the blessings from your heart. Rays of light shoot out, beautiful rays of light shoot out of all colors, and they touch the heart of Medicine Buddha in front with the aspiration, may I be of benefit. The rays of light go up and over to the Eastern Buddha field, and the rays of light come back from Medicine Buddha in the form of blessings of body, speech, and mind, where, like I said, in the sky is filled, made of light of all different sizes of Medicine Buddha, and they enter into you. Then the blessings, that was the blessings of body, the blessings of speech, the mantra is filled throughout the whole sky, made of light, and they all enter into you. And the other one was mind, and that was the begging, the bowl filled with Dutsi Amrita. And that it's not heavy, it's just light, and it all comes and fills you. And then you rest for a while, just rest in being filled with all those blessings that you can't even describe. They're so vast. Then you give back. Then from within you, you can visualize any way you wish. You can visualize from your heart from 360 degrees. Light shoots out to the entire world and removes suffering. And you don't have to go to how it removes suffering. Mostly your job is just to send it out. Yes, you have friends and loved ones that are sick and dying. You can remember them, but on the flip side, you have to remember everyone else too. I always think of my hospitals, but then I think of all the other hospitals in the universe, places where people are gathering, where they're sick and dying. So you just keep sending that out. And if that's too intense, sometimes it's too intense for me. So I back it up and I just relax for a moment. And then I might just think of Medicine Buddha in front of me doing the same thing, or Medicine Buddha from the realm sending light out. Now I've mentioned before, I love I saw an image recently on Facebook, I think, or Instagram, of the globe is here and Medicine Buddha's on top, just sending out rays of light. I love that. And some of you have been, I know Michael and Lama Cathy in Mahamudra courses where we're taught how to do visualizations on a, you might say, the bigger scale than what you're used to. But let's say it's just too much. All you have to do is rest in the mantra. The sound itself is healing. So sometimes I'm not in a visual mood. I've had a hard day at the hospital. I'm grieving. I'm not doing well. I just rest in the sound of the mantra. That alone is full of profound blessings. Sometimes I can't do that. I just look at the picture of Medicine Buddha. My house is full of photocopies of this picture. So he's all over the place. And that helps me a great deal. That's because, again, remember, his blessings were from his name, his speech, his mantra, and his image. And so You can do that. So you can really make this into your own practice, and I hope you do, because we're all different. And we all go through different stages in our day and our life. And so sometimes you need to be inspired and sometimes you need to give it back. And this practice offers both. And the other thing I really love about this practice is not only is there healing for other people and other beings, other animals, don't forget your animals and all the plants. I'm a horticulturalist, so I visualize all the plants are being healed, all the insects, all the bees. But I just want to make sure you know you can just really expand this out to however you're comfortable. Oh, and particularly our political leaders. I'm really hoping Trump turns blue soon. So I think all of our political leaders really need, I think, help on many fronts. So, and then what happens, and then lastly, and I don't want to ever forget this one because it's one of my favorite ones, that I learned this. So I've told many of you, I learned this practice after I had a really serious brainstem stroke. And I remember when I saw Rinpoche, he just wept when he saw me. And I thought, boy, I must be bad off. Rinpoche never. And he said, instantly, he just looked at me and said, Medicine Buddha, come, I'm going to teach you. And I told him I couldn't read. And so he had Orville write everything down for me. I'm so blessed. And so he just said that it's so important to always be thinking of others and always, all the people that helped me, he said, now it's time for me to give back. So, but then he also gave me the special practice that Karmachagami teaches about Medicine Buddha, either the size of your thumb. So this is an addendum practice that's very valid to do. And if you're not feeling well, if you have a joint that's not working, you're just not well, you just feel off, or you know you have a condition, then it's fine to pray for yourself with Medicine Buddha, because we're not breaking our Bodhisattva vows. Because in order to help others, we have to have a healthy and balanced body and mind. And Medicine Buddha brings that about. So you can do that other visualization, or on top of that, visualize Medicine Buddha's very tiny, in the form of blue light. He comes in through the crown back here, not in the middle, but more in the back. It's 8 finger widths back. Just hold your fingers like that. Go to your hairline and pull back. There's sometimes a little dip there or a bump, depending on what practice you do. And that's the crown when you die. That's where you pop out. So he enters through there. And let's say I have several things wrong with me. I'll have different Medicine Buddhas go to different sites and just let him rest there as you do the mantra. And throughout the day, you can imagine that resting in those spots. And then at the end, never forget to offer the merit and think of all others that are suffering from what you're suffering from. And then that's it. It's very simple. So let's say you have a very busy life, or you're challenged by having to read a long text. Some people are overwhelmed by the details in these, like me, just give me more details. But other people like, no more details. So for you, Trungpa Rinpoche, very kindly, in his books, and I think in the handouts that we have, there are very simple, there we go, very simple, just a couple of lines to do. If nothing else, just say the refuge prayer to Medicine Buddha and then do the mantra. That's all you have to do. Trungpa Rinpoche said, it really depends on you, your situation, and your karma at that time, what you're doing. But just practice. And you can accumulate, if you can. There's a rule that I think it's, for each syllable of a mantra, you multiply it times 100,000. So is that 22 million? It's a lot. It's a lot of mantras. So, but I think it's a really wonderful thing. I've been thinking about, I've kind of been flirting with the idea of having a Medicine Buddha group on Instagram. Anyone interested? I just thought it'd be so cool just to accumulate mantras, you know? So keep your eyes peeled. I might be doing, it'll just be me doing it and won't be through the center. Okay, good. So I don't even know if we're gonna do the whole text. You might just do mantras, but I think it's, at this time, I think we need more help like that. And I'm noticing a lot of my yoga teachers are doing all these different mantras. I'm thinking, why aren't we? So Anyway, are there any pressing questions? Oh, there are. I'm terrible at looking at this. Pardon me. Let me look at the chat. Oh, I like the yeses. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, all right. This is from Jay Hend. Do we imagine the light from our heart to Medicine Buddha's heart center in the Eastern? Okay. So this has to do with the visualization, I think, of the mantra. Let me go to Jay. Where is she? I'm going to find you. You must be on the next page. Maybe not. Could you unmute yourself so I can find you? Who asked the question about the light?
Yes, thank you, Lhamo.
Oh, there you are. Oh, it's Julie.
Yeah. It's when at the beginning of the visualization, when we're saying the mantra, is it full light or however you want to imagine the blue light going out to the Medicine Buddha? Or is it from like your heart center to the Medicine Buddha's heart center? I get a little tied up in.
Yeah, it's kind of unusual. I've never seen any other practice. It's from our heart center as Medicine Buddha. We shoot rays of light, and they can be predominantly blue, to the Medicine Buddha in front of you. If in this practice you have a frontal visualization. Some people don't do the frontal, but in this practice we do. It's in the text. And there's great merit in doing the frontal visualization because of the benefit, the merit of making offerings. So we shoot light to the frontal, and that not only Medicine Buddha, but all the 7 other Medicine Buddhas. So all 8 of them, light rays then shoot to all of their Medicine Buddha fields, including Shakyamuni, and then they come back in the form of the blessings of body, speech, and mind of the, what was it? The form of Medicine Buddha made of light, the mantra made of light, and the begging bowl made of light. And then after, so that's like step 1. And then after that, it's all yours. Because then you have even more confidence of who you are to help all beings.
Beautiful.
And how can you use this? So Rinpoche asked me when I became a chaplain, he said, what do you do when you go on the units? And I said, well, I was really scared at first because when you work nights, you're kind of it. And I said, so I decided most of the medical units were Medicine Buddhist units, and where people are dying in ICU, that's Amitabha's. He said, that's fine. He said, you can be very creative when you're working, like you work in the medical field, with how, and I know people that are Westerners that pray over their medicines with this mantra before they go forward. So you can pray over your medicines at home. It's, you just keep going with this. It's really awesome. Anyway.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Let's see. Oh, good. Well, I hope this was helpful. I'm sorry we didn't do as much as I always want to. I always want to do so much more, and then I get carried away. But so you need help with mudras, it sounds like. So Lama Karma, definitely go online. He does a beautiful job. And I remember somebody had a really good camera, and she went around and filmed him. So it's really great to watch. Thank you, Lama Cathy, for that reference. I'll keep you, just look for me on Instagram. I'm thinking more and more about that. And thank you all for all your love. And if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be having this, and I wouldn't be learning more. So I offer all of your merit. Thank you so much. I mean it to all of you. And I really wish you all great health and wealth and well-being to offer to all other beings, and just to keep doing your practice. And remember, this isn't a chore. It's just a love, right? It's just so, it's a joy. And we're beyond fortunate, even in this time of great crisis. And that's the other thing, you know, I really hope that you can be very creative with this. You see, I try not to watch the news, but my husband makes me, because it's really good to be involved in the world a little bit. And he doesn't make me, but he encourages me. But, you know, there's so many tensions on so many fronts right now. And I don't have the wisdom to do everything, but we have the ability to practice. You all know how to use a mala, right? I didn't even think of asking that question. Do you all, anyone, okay, hold on, Bill, hold on. Let me get my mala. have a really nice, so if you do Medicine Buddha, I remember asking Kemper Mache, I said, oh, I don't need a Lapis Lazuli mala for this. He said, yes, you do. So of course, I'm not showing you my Lapis. So this is my mala. It's Bill, do you own a mala? Oh, he has a Lapis with carnelian. Hold it up, it's gorgeous. Okay, so you notice at the top, there's probably a tassel with one bead that has 3 holes in it. That's you can unmute yourself though. That's the guru bead. Yeah, so this is a guru bead. So could everyone mute except for Bill? And we'll talk Bill through this. So you can hold this in your left or right hand. I can't hear you. There you go. Are you talking? Okay. For some reason, I can't hear Bill. Okay, so you hold it like this, and you say, I tend to hold it in my left hand, have the guru bead towards my left, and then I say the mantra, and then you keep going all the way to the end, and then you turn it back around. You don't cross over the guru bead. Kind of like in Ghostbusters, you don't cross the streams. You just go back. And then you can count by, you can buy something called counters. You know, Bill, just send me your email address. I could send you some counters. I have so many extra counters. These are counters. It's like an abacus. So each time I go around this, so each one of these is 100. You never count the 8, it's just 100. And then when you're done with one of these, you put it down here. And when you're done with 10, you go reset it. And then this is the thousands. This is the thousands. And then you start using your mala actually as a counter. So I have 2 different mantras going on, one here and one here. I forget what they're for. So anyway, so that's how you would use a mala. I'm sorry, I kept holding it up to him. I need to hold it. So I'll say that one more time. So this is the guru bead has 3 holes. These are the counters. You never cross over the guru bead. You just go back around and then reverse it. And you can actually buy special counters called boom for 10,000. So then each of these beads is 10,000. That way you can accumulate it. Okay, that's it. Anything else? Okay, thank you. Thanks for asking that, sort of, indirectly. Okay. So let's offer the merit. So may all the merit that's been accumulated here today and through the past few weeks of everyone here that's been practicing Medicine Buddha may be offered to all of those that are suffering alone right now, suffering in war-torn countries, in Beirut, suffering from racial injustice, suffering from so many other types of injustice in the military and in the police forces right now. Please bless all of them. Please also help those that are in the hurricane zone right now and the typhoons. And may they all be free of suffering and be able to help others. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Please be well. And you can always email me anytime. Just put Medicine Buddha class so I know. I don't know if you have my email, do you? No. Let me get a piece of paper and write it down. So it's, my first name is Cathy, but my spiritual name is Lhamo, Lhamo, 108@gmail.com.
It's also in chat.
It's in chat. Thank you. Oh, I always forget to do that. Thank you, Lhamo Cathy.
Hey, all righty.
And of course, always ask Lama Cathy. So thanks again. And thank you for your help with the center. Lama Cathy, are we starting to build soon?
Yeah, hang on just a second here. Yes, we are getting closer and closer and closer to being able to start construction. It might even start this very week. And all of you, yeah, I know all of you who contributed to this class are helping to make that happen. So thanks very much. And, you know, of course, if anybody has some spare money, you can definitely send it to Columbus KTC and we'll use it to rebuild our center. We're getting closer and closer. So thanks for that.
Great, thank you. Oh, somebody wants, I think everything has been, oh, sure. Oh, Sue Ellen, cool. Nancy Cox, hi, Nancy. So, oh, Nancy Cox sent me a blue heart. That was so sweet, I love it. Is there any outstanding question? No? Okay. See you all later. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Thank
Lama
you.
Cathy.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you
very
much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, I love
Thank
hearing
you.
everyone's voices.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Leona, was it okay? Were you able to follow? Okay, good. Oh, good. You're still muted, so
Yes.
you guys cannot all unmute. Oh, good. I'm so happy to hear that. I really appreciate when people don't know where they are. It's so confusing. I have so many different texts, and so
I get so frustrated with, I'm just not skillful enough at Tibetan when the translations are different. And then as soon as I'm lost, then there's no hope.
oh, that's
You
right.
know,
I'm going
I
to
need
send
to-
you the. You reminded me, so I'm going to send 3 things. But yeah, I'm lucky. I'm very fortunate. I study Tibetan a lot. So, like I said, when I was sitting in the Medicine Buddha class, or when they were chanting at KTD, I'm like, oh, there's a lot of text going on here. So I had to listen several times. But it's really hard, and people always get nervous when. I always like to get lost in a text because that way it shows me how to relax and listen, which I don't do well. But thank you. I'm really glad you spoke up. Thank you. So please, everyone, have a great day. I hope I'm actually off tomorrow. I can't believe it. I shouldn't tell that to Lama Cathy. I'm joking. So. Lama Cathy, should I stop recording now so I stop getting in trouble? I think there's got to be a way to stop
Sure.
it.
Yeah, it's